Hello everyone, this is going to be the first of the new format. We're going to do a mid-month all signs reading. So this is going to be the mid-month reading. I may end up throwing up maybe a money and career reading, different topics, but it's going to be more card oriented because it just seems like that's more popular and it's fitting with the channel. This will be for all signs. Now, if you do like my psychic astrology chart reads, those are going to be over on Patreon, but they're there for free. So you don't have to join, well, you might have to sign up for Patreon, but you don't have to pay anything. You can watch them for free. I do have other things for higher tiered contents, but I even do, if you want to, no pressure, but if you want to on Patreon, there is even a $1 a month off of, So if you like those astrology readings, you're free to watch them for free. If you want to give $1 a month even, that would be greatly appreciated too, but not necessary. Okay, so let's do, this is going to be the first one. I saved the sheet from the thing because a lot's happening the second month. We've got the 13th, the second half of the month. We've got Saturn going retrograde, Mercury going retrograde on the 18th. Sun goes into Leo and the Leo new moon. And happy birthday to all the Leos for the second half of the month. So I'm going to start with Aries as always, and we're going to go sign by sign. So what we're going to do is one oracle card first, and then we're going to put 3 tarot cards around to clarify. So I think that's going to be, instead of pulling the oracle card last. Okay, so what is the message for the second half of July for our Aries friends? Aries sun, rising, moon, we've got purge. Well, after the full moon is a good time to purge. That's very interesting that would come up like that. Also, Saturn going retrograde in your sign. Also a good time to purge. It says shedding the old so the new may emerge. Merge and purge kind of rhymes there, doesn't it? Let's take a look at what I wrote in my book. This is the accompanying booklet for the All-Seeing Eye, or the Holy Hamza, excuse me. I originally called it the All-Seeing Eye and I ended up changing it quite a bit. But this is a deck that I designed and I wrote the book for as well. So I do want to read you the booklet. It's card number 49, so it's the second last card in the whole deck. So let me get there. Thanks for your patience, Aries. Okay, 49, purge, adapt, evolve, cycles. The snake sheds its skin, the bird its feathers, the flower its petals, the butterfly its cocoon. None mourn the loss of what was. All are immersed in the cycle of transformation. Life is not stagnant. We are not meant to stay in one place for our entire existence. The time has come to purge the old so that the new can be born. Perhaps you will need a time of isolation while going through this metamorphosis. When the time is right, you will emerge revived and ready to test your newly found wings. Well, the other thing is we've got Neptune and the other planet of not Uranus. We've got so many new planets this month. You have Neptune and Saturn in your sign too, so you are going through this big new beginning. Okay, let's do 3 cards on the top to clarify for our Aries friends for the second half of July. 1, 2, and 3. We've got the Emperor. That's one of the cards that relates to you as well. The 3 of Pentacles on top of the reading. And finally, the 7 of Wands. Let's dial in a little closer, you guys. Always got to make our adjustments for our Aries. A little too close on that. Just a hair less. How about that? Just a hair less. Oh, by the way, you're watching the Rock and Roll Prophetess, and my name is Vickieverlie. You can find me at my website. Okay, so you've got the Emperor. What you've been struggling with here, Aries? It looks like there's some things that maybe you've been struggling with, and that's not surprising with Saturn in your sign. Saturn can really lay that burden stuff on you, but it goes along with the purge card as well. It's like it's trying to get you to release these things that no longer serve you. But there's also an Emperor who I do feel could be of great help and of great, a guidance for you, my guides are saying. Now notice there is the Aries, the ram symbols on the Emperor, and it's on the arms of his throne as well, I believe. The Emperor doesn't have to be this genderless reading, so it's just the person in the position of authority. I think for some of you, this could be some kind of a lawyer. Like maybe there's some things that were lawyer or even an accountant. Like these things feel like these are complicated paperwork for some that you're trying to get through. And some of you might be doing a building or remodeling of your house or something like that. And you may need, some kind of a permit or some kind of, paperwork, or maybe you need, You know, there's all different, it's going to be different in each case, but I do feel some of these mountains are really standing out to you too. Some of you might be building a mountain cabin, somebody out there. But ask for help, because the Emperor is here, and he can, I feel like all these things are coming at you from a lot of different directions. And it's like he can put it all in a nice, neat little package, or encapsulate it all down into a way that's easy for you to understand, and it's nothing for him. He does this all the time, every day. Or if maybe you're trying to fix something or do some kind of a home improvement job on your own, maybe you do need a contractor, you know, something like that. This person has this very Saturnian, but in the best possible way. The Saturn, like the wise elder, the wise person who wants to come in and help. And there's going to be a purging of your burdens. That's the main thing that I really get. There's an opportunity for that. Especially, I think, now that Saturn's gone retrograde, too. It's a time of purging and releasing. Okay, well, Aries, I hope that helped you out. Go ahead and check your sun, rising, and moon. If not, I did this again where I brought my personal deck in here. I've got too many decks around. Okay, let's move this aside, and next we're going to take a look at the sign of Taurus. Okay, Taurus, so we are starting with the Oracle card, too, to set the tone for the reading. What is it, something that Taurus needs to know, or perhaps even work on, for the second half of July, for the Taurus sun sign, rising, or moon, or a cross-watcher, or anybody with prominent Taurus in their chart? This is for the second half of July. For our Taurus friends, I feel like I want to cut the deck and pull slow. Slow and steady wins the race. Yeah, the slow card is about taking things slow. I mean, that's your jam anyway, Taurus. If you want to pause the video and look at some of the background words, feel free to do so. Everything in good time, moving at a leisurely pace. Well, I feel like that's kind of music to Taurus's ears, because after Uranus has been in your sign for these last years here, this last 7-8 years, I feel like slowing down, you know, that's right on time for you. That's definitely something that you can relate to. That sounds like a plan. You know, that sounds like a good plan for Taurus. But let's cut 3 cards for some more clarification. For Taurus sun, rising, moon, second half of July. The first card we have is Justice. The second card we have is 8 of Swords. And the third card we have is the Knight of Rods, Knight of Fire. So fire sign energy. Well, we're not in fire sign. Well, we will be, actually. Well, the sun will be moving into Leo on the 22nd of the month. But that grabbed me right away as the Leo new moon. I feel pretty strong for most people. There's going to be something really popping or really happening for you around the Leo moon. Maybe you have felt kind of a little tied up in knots a little bit here with this 8 of Swords in the top of the reading. You may have felt a little tied up in knots. You may feel a little bit you know, stressed or worried. There's a person who's coming in that's going to be really helpful to you. This stoplight is really standing out to me, and I want to say they're going to be stopping by. So maybe somebody's going to be stopping by or stopping in. They might, it could be a lot of different things, but I want to say that, and that stoplight really gets me too. That's really pulling me in. Now, Justice is here, so that's usually going to involve some sort of legal matter. You know, so maybe this person is even an attorney or lawyer. Usually it's the Swords people who are the attorneys or lawyers, but maybe you'll be signing a contract with them for them to help you out with something. You know, the Leo energy is very vivacious, very exciting, easily excited. I'm hearing that excitable boy they all said. Is that Warren Zevon? I forgot to read the card for the booklet that I wrote for this card for slow. But I feel like it's kind of a dichotomy too, because this is saying slow, and then the fire energy is very fire. Let's go, let's go, let's go. You know, it's really, I keep hearing that excitable boy they all said. I think it's Warren Zevon. I can't remember any of the rest of the lyrics. You might want to look it up, though. Yeah, he's an excitable boy, they all said. Don't be stressed out. Same message as I said for Aries. Allow help, and this person maybe can hook you up in some way. For others, this could definitely be some kind of karmatic justice, you know. If this person's trying to rush you into doing something and stressing you out, then make sure that you do speak to an attorney before you proceed. Let me read what I wrote for the slow card. You are being advised to slow down when this card makes an appearance. You may be overdoing it and need for a change of pace. It also can be an indicator that things are moving more slowly than you'd like. Instead of becoming frustrated, remember that divine timing is always at work, and that could be justice too. You know, divine timing, karmic things are unfolding or wrapping up. This card, this card also is a reminder that when you move at a slower pace, you may see things that you otherwise may have gone unnoticed. Take time to smell the flowers and be present in your life. Do not overlook the little things that make life wonderful. Be aware of your surroundings, as the universe may be sending you subtle clues and possibilities. Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like it's you finally getting out of the you know, the clutches of Uranus. And where you were kind of, it was a little too much for many Tauruses, and slowing down. But it does feel like there's a few loose ends, things that you're going to have to wrap up here, and justice is involved. But it looks like the Leo new moon, if you're looking for a timer as to when to do these types of things, that Leo new moon could be a great time. I felt that right away. The minute I saw that card, I was like, oh, that's the Leo new moon. Okay, next let's take a look at this reading for the sign of Gemini. And I'm going to do, as we said, we're going to start with the Oracle card first, okay? We'll start with the Oracle card, and then we're going to move over and clarify with 3 tarot cards for our mid-month reading. For Gemini, Sun, Rising, and Moon, well, Uranus is firmly in your sign already, Gemini. So it's, you know, it's on, it's happening. Things are accelerating. You know, you may feel this exhilaration, exhilaration, exhilaration. Trying to give me like a rap. Okay, no rapping, Vic. You're a rocker, not a rapper. Okay, let's get the let's get that card for the foundational card from the Holy Hamza. It says water. I just heard water, water everywhere, not a drop to drink. Water is emotional. Tap into intuitive knowing. Pay attention to your dreams. Yeah, that is definitely the water energy. It could also be water sign people. It can also be water sign time. Now, we will be still in Cancer in water sign time until we get until the 22nd. So I'll be probably posting this early in the week, the 14th, 13th, 14th, 15th, or something like that. So you got about a week as I post this reading while we're still in water sign time. Emotions, subconscious, spirituality. Water is the lifeblood of our planet and our physical being. Water can take you from the depths of despair to riding the highest waves. Emotions are heightened when water card shows up. Take time to meditate, to calm and soothe your soul. Allow for peace to wash over you at this time. In astrology, the water signs are Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Yeah. Okay, let's move over and get 3 tarot cards to clarify the water foundation for Gemini. Okay, well, your emotions, a lot of things, everything could be really, you know, accelerating and everything with the Iranian energy. But let's go ahead and get this 3 cards for our Gemini friends for the second half of July to clarify the second. This one wanted to come out. Emperor, he was out, they were out in the first reading too for Aries, I believe. Ooh, Tower, and then finally King of Cups. Isn't that, I felt like we were going to get a water sign card. I just had that feeling. I even saw this card in my mind's eye. Yeah, so there's definitely a water sign person that could be very helpful to you. You know, for some, this feels consoling. This person might even be like a counselor. Or for some, I feel like it's a spiritual person. Like maybe you're going to be doing some kind of spiritual work or spiritual retreat or something, even along those lines. The Tower is up here. So the Tower is big shakeups and changes. Well, hello Uranus. You know, hello Uranus and Gemini. That went in on the 7th, and I'm sure you guys are feeling it. The Emperor is here too. Now the Emperor, yeah, I'm not sure the role of the Emperor. Both of these are genderless, but particularly the Emperor is genderless. I mean, for some of you, maybe you lost your shit. Maybe you lost your cool, and this is like a court-ordered. The Emperor is saying, listen, you got to go to anger management or find a way to cope with your feelings and emotions. That's going to be for only a very few, I want to say. For the rest of you, I feel like this is absolutely the energy of Uranus. This could also be that full moon in Capricorn, which was back on the 10th. So it's fairly, you know, almost to the mid-month point, you know, on the 10th. Maybe something really came to light, came to culmination. But there's help available, and particularly with this King of Cups. The King of Cups is a water sign person, but they also are very much mature with emotional things. You know, they They are calm, serene, centered, which could be just what you need right now. For some of you, you might be going on a trip. Maybe you're going to go, somebody might feel like going on maybe a camping trip where there's going to be boating or other water sports or water activities, you know, those kinds of things going on. And I just feel like it's just, it soothes your soul and really, really makes you feel better. Some of you, there could be something that came up that was pretty shocking with the Uranus. And this is just, this part of it is just helping you calm down, helping you process it. But definitely go towards this. I know you're an air sign, but you know, many Geminis will have Cancer in their chart. You know, just because you're Gemini sun sign doesn't mean you don't have water in your chart or you can't benefit from the healing and soothing qualities of the water energy. Okay, next we're going to take a look at the sign of Cancer. Well, we're just coming off of your birthday season, Cancer, and you got Jupiter in your sign, lots of big stuff going on in your neck of the woods, or your part of the planet, huh? So let's go ahead and do a shuffle. First, we'll get the foundational card from my Holy Hamza deck, and then we're going to move on and clarify with a few tarot cards for their mid-month reading for Cancer, Sun, Rising, and Moon. You got the Trickster, came right out. If you want to pause the tape or the video and take a look at the background words, you know, you can do that. But Trickster is just that. All is not what it seems. Be wary of who you trust. You know, this could be deceit, different kinds of, you know, it's not a good thing usually. The Trickster is, you know, trying to pull one over on you, you know. You could be dealing with some unscrupulous types of characters here, or just be really careful, you know. I feel like, you know, you've got the beautiful Jupiter in your sign, and this whole, so you're attracting. When you have Jupiter in your sign and you're in your solar return season, you know, you're attracting. But that doesn't mean you're only attracting good. You're attracting all kinds of stuff. You know? So it's not just like you. Normally the Jupiter is more leaning towards the good stuff for you. But, you know, you're noticed. And people are attracted to you on different levels, okay? So let's get 3 more cards to clarify for our Cancer, Sun, Rising, Moon. 1, 2, 3. We have the Page of Fire, news coming in the time of fire. 5 of Pentacles, crowning the reading. And over here we have the Wish card. Well, there's a breath of fresh air. There's some good news, right? Well, you've got the Wish card. You know, I almost feel like for some of you, there's going to be, people are going to be noticing you, or you're going to be getting a lot of attention, whether you want it or not. You know, some of it may be unwanted attention. News is coming in the time of fire. So we are moving into the time of fire here. On the 22nd, we're going to move into Leo, and then we have the Leo new moon over here on the 24th. So that could be either of those days or any time after that. Once the sun moves out of your sign of Cancer, it's going to move into the fire sign of Leo. And this card very much reminds me of Leo too, because he's got that sun emblem, you know, on the medallion on his necklace there. And the sun rules over Leo. Okay, so you may have been really through the ringer, and you know, you guys, you're so empathic and you're so caring and loving for the most part, Cancer Aries. You know, you really are. You're very, you know, you really care, and you're really, you know, you're really good people usually, and you're very empathic and perceptive, and you pick up on a lot. You know, and a lot of times you may take it internally. So you may have been dealing with this Trickster, and you feel like, man, like you feel like you've been, you know, put through it. 5 of Pentacles, like, wow, I can't believe, you know, you feel betrayal, these different kinds of things. Let me read the Trickster, by the way. Deceit, deceit, fraud, and treachery. The Trickster card is warning that someone may be deceiving you. Tread lightly and stay aware of the subtle clues that something might be amiss. The Trickster is very sly and cunning and knows just what to say to lure you into their trap. Trust your gut instincts, and when you feel if something is not quite right. Chances are your intuition or inner knowing is trying to alert you to their ruse. Yeah. So I almost feel like for some too, maybe around this Leo energy here, you're going to get the confirmation. Like you may have thought like, man, this doesn't feel right. Something is just not right about this person. I don't, you know, it seems like, you know, they're doing something, there's something shady going on, right? And then you get the news and you get the confirmation. It's like, aha, I knew it. I knew it. The wish card is here, though, nonetheless. So the wish card is all's well that ends well. It's a very favorable and positive card. So I feel like maybe if it's been going on, it's going to be revealed. It could absolutely, something could be revealed, and then you're just like, okay, we're done. We're not doing this anymore. We're done with this. This game is over. Game over. So I feel like you're really in taking with the wish card. It feels like so powerful. This reminds me of the Cancer energy too, because he likes the food. He's got all the food in his cupboard and everything, and he's so, this is Cancer at their best. The red rosy cheeks, and they're just so content and happy, and it's such a great card to finish off the reading for you and finish off the month for you after this big month of your solar return and your birthday and everything, Cancers. Next, we're going to take a look at the sign of Leo. Well, Leo, yeah, it's your birthday time and your new moon. The second half of the month is that new moon, the 24th. So we want to, even if you're an August Leo or late degree Leo, if you're Leo rising or moon, you still want to take advantage of this new moon energy to do your manifestation, because this is a powerful time of manifestation. Now, Mercury is retrograde in your sign too, so it's not a great time to necessarily start these plans, but it's a good time to start manifesting them and getting clear about what you want and what you're after. So what is the foundation of the second half of the month for our Leo friends? We've got gemstones. This is a really cool card. I love this card. Sparkling with light, bedazzling all around you. This could really be, and look at it. Take a look at the colors of this card too. If any of the colors stand out, even if it's not this particular stone, like maybe this red stands out to you, but it's not a garnet, could be a ruby. The color of the stone could be really important, whether it's the color, finding a stone that is that color to work with, or even just the color itself. Maybe the color, maybe even to wear those clothing or whatever. Jewels, sparkle, dazzle. Well, that's you all day long, Leo. You are the dazzler. Okay, the gemstone card reminds us to shine and sparkle. People will notice you as you shimmer and shine. Well, it's your solar return time, so that's true. It's time to add some color and pizzazz to your personal style. Brighten your environment with splashes of vivid color to uplift and inspire. When this card turns up, it may be calling you to work with the gemstones, whether wearing them on your person in the form of personal adornments or just having them in your environment like I do. I have stones and rocks all over my house, and my window sills by my plants everywhere. Allow your intuition to guide you towards the stone that is best for you at this moment. Yeah. So yeah, you want to do that. You want to get into that jewelry. Leos love a good piece of jewelry. I know that. And you love their color too. So this is so perfect card for you, really. Okay, we're going to do 3 more cards to clarify this mid-month check-in reading for our Leo friends. And we're going to pull. I'm using the Hanson Roberts, by the way, for the tarot deck. Let's cut 3 cards. We got 1, 2, and 3. We've got the Page of Cups. We've got the Emperor. Boy, has that Emperor been out today. And the Tower. That's been out as well. Well, the Tower, it feels more like just a big surprise. This does not, because this is not a bad reading or a negative reading. But Tower is big shakeups and surprises. We do have the Uranus energy going on, so there is that whole shake-up surprise thing going on in many people's lives. Getting a little hoarse here. I just want to take a quick sip of water. Yeah, so, probably something in your life, too. Maybe somebody pops the question. Maybe somebody, is buying you an engagement ring or some nice piece of jewelry. This is this psychic and spiritual card. Sometimes this can be a baby that's wanting to be born, who's still in spirit. So maybe that could be, surprise, pregnant, it could be like that, too. So if that's not on your dance card at this time, Leo, then make sure you're using the proper precautions. But if you do want it, then hey, surprise, we're pregnant, yay. But it also could be, it's also very much more so I'm leaning towards the psychic and spiritual. And look he's even got a glowing, or the page has that glowing See that glowing gemstone on there, holding their cape together there? And it's that center card. So maybe, you know, red is also one of your colors. You know, red is definitely a Leo color. So maybe you do want to work with a red garnet, a red ruby. You know, the natural rubies, I don't have one right in front of me, I don't think. Do I have a natural ruby? This isn't a natural ruby, but they look kind of, you'd be surprised. You see them all polished and everything, but they're almost like a piece of turquoise. You know how turquoise looks? But they're red, they're dark red instead of blue, but they have veins and lumps and stuff all over it. You know, it's real interesting. You know, but you may want to work with a red stone and get a brooch or wear a brooch in that color. It may be this spirit, if maybe it's not a spirit of a child, it might be a spirit of an ancestor. For somebody, I feel like this is a special brooch that belonged maybe to your grandmother or somebody like that. Or even for somebody for sure, it was a male energy, it was their cufflink. And you're going to wear it as something like this, like as a brooch, or, you know, repurpose it or something like that. The Emperor crowns the reading, so you're in good graces with the Emperor, I want to say. The Emperor has something to offer, but the Emperor is also sort of looking over you. And, you know, maybe this is some kind of a promotion or something at work, and you're just, the gem cards is like, I got this new raise, I'm going to go buy myself that awesome brooch that I was looking at. You know, it could be something just as simple as that. But definitely the working with the gemstones is going to be real important. You know, take it in stride. I don't necessarily feel like this Tower is anything, you know, inherently negative. And, you know, it could be a surprise pregnancy. So again, if you're not planning on that, you know, make sure you're taking the correct precautions. But mostly I feel like it's just this, you know, Uranian thing, like this out of nowhere, here it is, oh, guess what, here comes the baby, or somebody popped the question or something like that. So not necessarily negative, you know, we don't have to think of it that way. All right, Virgos, you're up next. Let's take a look at the, this is going to be, we'll take the Holy Hamza to set the intention or set the, you know, the basis of the reading. We're going to pull one oracle card for my Holy Hamza first, and then we'll clarify with 3 tarot cards for our mid-month reading for our Virgo. If you haven't watched the first one for the whole month, you might want to go, that's going to be more in-depth and detailed. You might want to go back and look at that. But I feel like I want to cut. I'm going to cut one. I'm going to cut one. That reminds me of kids, when we were kids, you know, who cut one? Who cut the cheese? Yin Yang. Balance and harmony. Yin Yang is card 37, and it is all about, you know, getting in that balance and harmony situation. For every action, there is an equal opposite reaction. A look at these cards too. If any of the symbolism, or when I hold it up, if you want to take a look at any of the words stand out to you, that's how you can get these personal messages, perhaps. Oops. Balance, duality, synergy. Heaven and earth, dark and light, good and evil. 2 sides of the same coin. The yin is the dark feminine, the yang is the masculine sunlight. Together they are whole, complete, united. The yin yang card is calling to bring balance into your life. Work and play, wake and sleep. Balanced diet and nutrition. In a relationship, it may signify harmony and mutual supportive situations. Where one lacks, the other excels, which makes for a great team. Yay. All right, let's get 3 tarot cards to, you know, process. It's funny, I want to say process this reading. So maybe we do need cards to process the reading, but it's actually to expound on and clarify the yin-yang basis of the reading here. For Virgos, Sun, Rising, Moon, anybody with prominent Virgo in their chart. This one wanted to come out right off the top, so we're going to take it. 6 of Rods, Victory and Triumph, 2 of Swords, and 7 of Swords. It's interesting. I had a feeling, you know, that it was going to be like this. So up and down. This is also, you know, there's 2. First, let's look at the 2 of Swords. Let me pull it down. I'm sorry, it was off camera. So there's 2 of Swords. This is, you know, this 6 of one, half a dozen of another, and it's right above the yin yang. So it's going both ways. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. But overall, the 2 of Swords talks about really trying to make a decision, and you don't really have all the information. You want to wait. I feel like you want to wait till next month for your new moon in Virgo. That's when things are going to be revealed, and that's when you're going to have more information. I'm going to let you know right now when that exactly is. I'm pulling out my astrology calendar here. We have the new moon in Virgo is going to be next month on August 23rd. So you may want to wait, to making any big decision. You may not have all the information until then. But this is so interesting because yin and yang, the exact opposite. So Seven of Swords, something was taken away from you unfairly. You felt cheated, you felt lied to, deceived, deceived. I don't know why I'm saying deceived, but they want me to say it that way. I was trying to say deceived, they want me to say deceived. De-seated, maybe taken down. Sorry, Virgo, that something fell off the plant, I think, and it startled me. But it was like we were talking about de-seated or dethroned, you could even say, or unseated would be a more accurate word if that's what they're trying to convey here. But if something was taken away from you and you feel like you were treated unfairly, it's because something's better coming on. So if there's a gap left, the Six of Rods here is going to fill that gap up, and it's going to, where you were taken, where you felt like you were low, you're going to be raised up high. You're going to be raised up and honored. And this is a card of victory and being honored. So it's a little bit of both. And they always say, if you didn't experience the lows, then you would never appreciate the highs. So it could be a little bit of that going on. But I love that the Six of Rods is here. But as far as making a decision, if you don't have all the information, hold off until that new moon in your sign. I think that could be a kind of a big thing for you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead next, and we're going to move over and do the sign of Libra. Well, hello, Libra. Thanks for tuning in for your mid-month update reading. Oh, shuffling the wrong deck, actually. I want to start. I'm so used to starting with the tarot. We're going to start with the Holy Hamsa as the basis for the reading, and then we're going to clarify with some tarot after that. What does Libra need to know, or message for Libra for the second half of the month of July of 2025? These cards are all falling. There's too many. I'm going to take the top one. Okay. Flux. If you want to pause the video and try to look at those, zoom in and look at those background words, you may be able to get a message. This is card 6, and it says, the magic hour is upon us. A powerful time of creation. Yeah, that flux is like being in between. I'm going to read from the booklet that I wrote that goes along with it. It's card number 6. No, I don't want to export. Oh, jeez. Cancel. Yeah, somehow I hit export. Okay, 9, 8, 7, 6. Here we go. Shifting, passage, transition. The tween time is that magical moment when things are in flux between light and dark, wake and sleep, day and night, where one world abuts unto another. It's possible to transition into another timeline, another way of being, another reality. In the world where magical creatures make themselves known and are available to help in your endeavor. As you drift off to sleep, set your intentions as your soul transitions from the physical world off to the land of Nod. If your life seems to be in flux, steer your visioning to the highest possible outcome and live your dreams now. All right, well, that's beautiful for you, Libra, isn't it? Okay, we're going to do 3 more cards from the tarot to kind of, expand on this reading a little more, or possibly clarify. But let's see, what else do we need to know, or what areas might be in flux, or what's coming up for our Libra friends. We've got 1, 2, 3 cards for Libra. We've got the Knight of Fire, the Knight of Rods, fire sign energy, the Hangman crowning the reading. Let's pull these down so you can see them better. And then finally the Ace of Cups. Beautiful. Well, Ace of Cups is always a good thing. New beginning in love, creativity, all these sorts of things. Again, I want to say this is probably that new moon in Leo. You got the new and then the Leo energy. So the new moon in Leo is going to be on the 24th of the month. That could be a key date for many of you, especially with the Hangman if you've been waiting some time. If you've been waiting 12 weeks, 12 months, even 12 years for in some cases for this big transition to happen. And you're an air sign too, and this whole Uranian energy very much can really boost things along and move things along for you real quickly. You've got Pluto in Aquarius, and this isn't an astrology reading, but I just want to illustrate my point here, because the 3 air signs, Pluto's in Aquarius, Uranus is in Gemini. Well, you're the third leg of that trine. You're the third leg of that air sign trine. So those two planets working together are going to be ticking off and hitting a lot of your Libra placements. Because if you're Libra, you probably have other placements in Libra. You might be, even if you're Libra Sun or Rising, you could have any of it. You could have Mercury, Moon, you could have other placements. It's very common to have more than one placement other than your sun sign. So when those different things get activated, and even this way I decided to set this up as like a little triangle, it's like the grand trine in air, but it's this new beginning, and it's not in flux anymore. The Hangman is very much in flux as well. He's paused. So if you've been paused and you've been in flux, bam, when that fire sign moon hits there on the 24th, things are going to start cracking, my guides are saying. Crack on. That cracks me up. I would say crack on, crack off, the cracker. When I watch I watch some UK British TV shows, mainly the painting shows, the portrait artist of the year and landscape artist of the year, and they always say crack on. I don't know why that just strikes me as so funny for some reason. I'm a weirdo, but anyways. You're going to be cracking on here. You might be falling in love. Some of you could really, because the fire sign energy can be very passionate. Could be a fire sign person, but it could also, again, just be around that fire sign moon. And the fire energy is passion and, romantic excitement, sexual attraction, You could really, be smitten with someone, my guides are saying. Okay, crack on, you crackers out there. Next, we're going to be moving on to the sign of Scorpio. Hello, Scorpio. Thanks for joining me for this new mid-month update reading. I hope everybody's liking it. If you do like it, please hit that like and subscribe. That's always a help. That's my goal, to get things back on track with this channel here. So what is going to be the base card, or the main, the foundation of this reading for the second month, half of July 2025 for Scorpio? Love. As I mentioned, maybe in the last reading, if you want to pause the video and take a look at some of the background words, you can potentially get some information or personal messages there. Yeah, I have more than one love card, because I feel like that is something that was definitely missing in the tarot. There's just, there's Ace of Cups, but there's also just the Lovers, And love is not, this love card is not, I have a soulmate card and I have other cards, because I feel like love can't be contained within one card, certainly not just the Lovers card. So there's more than one love card in my deck here that I created, the Holy Hamza. Love is a canvas furnished by nature and embroidered by imagination. Joy, elation, happiness. Love is a tool. This is one of my poems, or maybe it was channeled, but I wrote this. Well, I wrote the booklet, but this is a poem that I came up with a while back. Love is the tool, the jewel, the rule. Love is the light, the right, the might. Love is the feel, the heal, the real deal. Love is all. Ooh, I get chills when I say it. I love that poem. I forgot about it. Anyways, the love card goes beyond the scope of romantic love. This card encompasses loves of all kinds. Family, friends, pets, even love of life may be the focus. When the love card shows up, you can be sure that love is on the way. If already attached, you may be going through a phase of closeness and connection. Yeah, I love this card too. It's one of them better, not better, but more pretty cards, I guess. One of these days I'm going to get around to making some t-shirts out of some of these cards. I have to get on that. I have so much on my plate right now. But hey, Scorps, let's go. What is it? Romantic? Isn't it romantic? Oh, my guides crack me up to no end with their corniness. They're pretty cornball a lot of the time. It's not me. I'm not that way. Let's get 3 cards for Scorpio for late July. Second half of the month. We got the King of Rods. There you go. This could be some sexy time. 8 of Cups. Moving on. And finally, the Ace of Swords. Well, again, fire sign energy with the rods people. That's the Leo energy. We are going to be moving into Leo as the second half of the month. On the 22nd, 24th is the new moon in Leo. So very much could be talking about the Leo season, and even on into the 8th month of August, because that's where Leo season goes, because this is kind of pointing me upward. But talking about who do you love? Who do you love? So who do you love? Looks like you love the King of Rods. And the King of Rods could be any gender, depending on, you know, who this person is in your life. But for sure, they're probably a fire sign, a Leo, an Aries, or Sag. Or like I said, coming in this time of this later month as we move into Leo. But also, you know, the rods, I said this in one of the other readings, those rods people, they're the sexual. This is a phallic symbol. You know, they're the passion. They bring the passion. They bring that's the Mars energy. You know, this is the Venus and this is the Mars. You know, so there's a romantic love and the love of the heart, and then there's the passionate, you know, the sexual attraction and that spark there. Ace of Swords, some kind of big breakthrough for you. So maybe if things have been stagnant for a while, you're gonna have that breakthrough. You're gonna meet somebody new for some people. Maybe while traveling, you might be going on a trip. You know, a lot of people go on vacation in July and August. You may be traveling and you can meet somebody. This could even be the full moon of Leo. Well, not of Leo, it would be the full moon in Aquarius. Could be the new moon in Leo on the 24th, but we're going to have a full moon in Aquarius. The next full moon will be on August 9th. Could be somewhere even around there. 8 plus 1 is 9. And 3 plus 6 is 9. This is cards 36. So could be around the 9th of next month. You know, it's different for everybody, but this is definitely the object of your infatuation or your heart's desire. Maybe the two of you are going to go traveling together. For some of you, maybe it's not, you know, necessarily love is the basis of the situation, but maybe there's a breakthrough in some other form or fashion. Maybe this is your partner has some big breakthrough and that you two of you are really celebrating and really happy for their success. This is also a card of success. The Ace of Swords is a card of success and breakthrough. After the period of the dark clouds, the light shines through. That's particularly on this deck. You know, you can see that. There's this dark clouds, but yet you persevere. You are triumphant in some form or fashion. All right, Scorps. Well, if you haven't checked out the whole month video, do check that out as well. Next, we're going to move on to the sign of Sagittarius. Okay, so Sag, we're going to pull one card from my Holy Hamza as sort of the base. I'm dropping them all over, and you just, as the basis or the foundation for the reading, and then we're going to go and clarify with some tarot after that. So Sagittarius, second half of July. We've got the wish card, beautiful, can't ask for better than that. Your wish is coming true. Check out some of the background words if you want to stop the video and zoom in. You may get a personal message. Your wish is coming true, a time of great abundance. It's card number 9 because I totally took that, you know, as my nod to the tarot, because of course the 9 of Cups is the wish card in the tarot. So let me go down and we're going to take a look at card number 9 and read what I wrote for the more in-depth thing here. Success, fruition, attainment. This card signifies a definite yes to your question when it shows in the spread. Thank your lucky stars and count your blessings, which are many. You're on a roll and the gifts keep coming. Make a wish and trust that the universe has got your back, for you are in alignment with the divine synchronicity. Success, fulfillment, happiness, and satisfaction. Wonderful things are unfolding in your life. Enjoy. Yeah. Well, great start to the reading. Now let's take a look. We're going to pull 3 cards from the tarot to maybe get some additional information as to how this wish might be coming true for you, or some more detail for Sagittarius, Sun, Rising, Moon, anybody with prominent Sag in your chart. Let's see here. King of Pentacles, Earth sign energy. Next we have 3 of Rods, your ship is coming in. And then lastly, the Devil, which means you're in bondage to something, but not for long, I want to say. Not for long, you know, because your wish is coming true. And this card has an air of freedom about it too, because he's unencumbered. The wind is blowing in the breeze, you know, the clouds are clearing away. He sees the blue skies in the background, the blue water, you know, so he's not encumbered at all. So anything you've been in bondage to, it's time to break out and take a chance too. It could be like taking a chance there, Sagittarius, that good things can be coming for you. You've got the King of Pentacles here. So this is somebody who's going to be standing by your side. He's right next to the wish. So this, he or she, this earth sign person could be very, very instrumental in helping you obtain your wish and be free. Or they might just be somebody who's like your rock. Often the King of Pentacles is like a rock, you know. There's somebody who's like the salt of the earth. They could be an earth sign, a Taurus, a Capricorn, or Virgo. It could even be something over here looking back to when we did have a new moon or full moon in Capricorn earth sign on the 10th. But this feels, you know, very much salt of the earth, somebody who's rock solid, somebody who, you know, can help with your dilemma. Even if they're not offering advice or help per se, they're just there for you to kind of lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, 'cause I'll be your friend. All right, enough singing. I know some people don't like the singing. Next, we're going to move on to the sign of Capricorn. Okay, Caps. This is going to be the first of the reading for the new format. We're going to throw these mid-month tarot scopes up for all signs. And if you do like the astrology, it's over on Patreon for free. You don't have to pay for it, but it's still, I'm still going to be doing those, but I think that it's kind of in conflict with the channel, you know, the brand, if you want to put it that way. But what's up for our Capricorns? What's the foundation for our Capricorns? 1, 2, 3. Wealth. Well, I know Capricorn likes to see that, right? Okay, you've got the wealth card. So this is very much abundance. It's almost kind of like the Ten of Pentacles in the tarot, if you want to think of it that way. Material gain, financial security, and it's card 43. Well, they got me moving all over the deck today. I was just down at 9, now I got to go all the way up to 43. So I'm getting there. Well, just look at some of the background images. I mean, it's not hard to see that what this card really is talking about. You know, in Capricorn, you've always got something going on. Plentifulness, prosperity, abundance. You are doing very well financially, or will be very soon. Money contentment is the mood for the day when this card shows out. You have found the treasure, the goose that lays the golden egg, and you're prospering like never before. The wealth card can represent money and riches, it's true, but wealth is much more encompassing than material goods alone. Wealth is a state of being, a balance of overall wellness that extends beyond outward accumulations, an inner feeling of safety and security that exudes outward from the core of your being. Well, that's cool, right? We'll take that, right, Capricorn? All right, let me do some shuffling here, and we're going to get in and do the 3 cards for our Capricorn friends to build on this wealth. This is going to be for late July, for Capricorn Sun, Rising, Moon, or anybody who has Capricorn prominent in their chart. All things Capricorn. Late July. What do we got? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Got the King of Cups standing by your side. Nice. 3 of Pentacles. Somebody else had this right up there in that same spot crowning the reading too. And Justice. I think these 2 were together in that reading as well. You know, you guys might be doing some kind of a big deal here while we're still in Cancer time, before the 22nd. So it might be while we're still in Cancer time, this person could show up, or this situation could be showing up. That's going to be what you're looking for. Justice is bringing that wealth to you. Is it a legal matter? Certainly could be. Could be signing of contracts. Could be signing of lease. Or for some of you, it's some kind of property if you've been working on a property. For some of you, you may be graduating school or getting that diploma or getting that documentation or that trying to say certificate and certified at the same time. Either or both. Could be a certification or certified in your trade or what you've been working for. But, you know, if that's the case, it might be bringing wealth maybe somewhere down the line. But for others, I feel like somebody's coming along here that's really going to make things happen pretty quickly here. It looks like things are moving pretty quickly, and Justice, it's all taken care of. They're saying it's all wrapped up with a nice bow for you. So some kind of an opportunity. Now, we do, after the 18th, we do have Mercury retrograde. So if there is signing of contracts, of course, you want to be a little bit maybe more cautious, or maybe, you know. But hey, if this is the opportunity of a lifetime and it's wealth and everything, you know, what's the holdup? You know, are we going to let Mercury retrograde? Are you going to wait a month if the opportunity is presenting itself right now? I mean, probably not, right? Okay. I'm just lighting some smudge here. I'm getting a little smudge going here. Get some smudge going. Blow that smudge around. You know what I just heard? Wow. I just heard that old song. Smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette. Boom, 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 boom. Smoke, smoke, smoke until you smoke yourself to death. Tell St. Peter at the Golden Gate, you just hate to keep him waiting, but you gotta have that one more cigarette. Wow. I haven't thought of that song forever. Oh, that's a really oldie from when I was a kid. That might even be in the 60s, if maybe early 70s. That was so weird. Well, you know, maybe some of you, if you are still smoking cigarettes, you get off. But I'm not preaching. But we're going to move on to Aquarius. All right, Aquarius, come on now. What's going on for Aquarius for the second half of the month? The basis for the reading, the foundational card for the reading. Which one should I take? I think this one. Riddle. Riddle me this. This is a little bit of an ode to the TV version of the Joker, too. Looks a little bit like his suit, doesn't it? I think the best Joker ever. What was his name? The skinny guy, yeah. Life is a mystery, waiting to be unraveled. Yeah. What am I hearing? Life is a highway. Life is a highway. I will ride it all night long. You're going my way. Alright, secret, unknown, mystery. There are times when the answer is unknowable. Just as we drink the drink of forgetfulness as we enter into our earthly incarnation, sometimes not knowing is what makes life interesting. Perhaps there is a mystery right around the corner, a riddle to be solved, or a mysterious stranger may enter your life. Whatever the case, embrace the mystery in life and enjoy the ride. In some cases, not knowing may be your spirit guide's way of protecting you from something that will only bring you down or deter you from your soul's true path. What did I pick up when I was there? Some of you might be going and doing an escape room, I'm picking up. So that might be something that you're going to do. Maybe you're going to be either doing one or, like, you know, be a patron of the place, or maybe you're involved in it in some way, creating it in some way. That's something definitely to split out. That Aquarius, you know, I could see Aquarius doing escape rooms for sure. Alright, well, you know, here we go. We've got this King of Cups crowning the spread here. So like with Capricorn, something could be popping prior to the 22nd when we move into Leo, while we're still in the sign of Cancer. Could be dating back to this full moon again, this full moon that we had here in Capricorn, or even the new moon in Cancer, I feel, for some. That could be dating back. Something that was initiated at that time frame, around the new moon in Cancer. Now, when was that? That would have been in June, late June here. That would have been around June 25th. So the last week of June, there may have been something. It was June 25th, and then the riddle card is 24. Riddle me this. I keep seeing that guy. Bert, somebody? I just gotta know. I'm gonna really quickly look him up. Let's see here. Batman on the TV series. Joker. Let's see. Oops. Sorry, I'm just trying to find out. Bert somebody, wasn't it? I'm saying the wrong guy. Riddler. The Riddler. That's why it's not making sense. Okay, the Riddler on the Batman series in 1960s. Let's look at it that way. Frank Gorshin. Yeah, he was the actor. Let me pull up the image. It's not a good image of him. Well, I guess these are some good ones of him. You guys remember this guy? See, that's where I kind of pulled a little bit of that. See how I did that a little bit? But I keep hearing, riddle me this, because that's what he used to always say, riddle me this. So, but it feels like maybe there's some fun stuff around it. Some of you have been carrying this heavy load and this heavy burden around for a while, and maybe there's a riddle that has to be solved about that. You know, maybe there's a better way to do things here. Maybe this King of Cups has this better way to do things for you. For others of you, you could be with the moon, there's something mysterious too. The moon can definitely be mysterious too. But you may have to, like, maybe you have to go to a chiropractor, or there's some kind of a health concern or something like that for some. But overall, this feels more fun, exciting, like an escape room, you know, or a game, you know, some puzzle or game. And it feels like you're enjoying it very much with the help of the King of Cups energy up at the top. Again, the King of Cups is whoever, not necessarily a male, but a water sign person, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Okay, last but not least, let's move over and do our Pisces friends. We're going to start with the Holy Hamza card here to the foundation of the reading for our mid-month July reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, anybody with prominent Pisces in their chart. I've got birth. Card number 1, birth. So yeah, you're giving birth to something. Take a look at it. Pause the video if you want to look into it a little bit deeper, you know. But there's like an egg cracking, and there's all these different things going on with these various caterpillars, and eggs are cracking open, flowers are blooming, and different things. It's card number 1, so I gotta go. But I'm getting there. Oh, there it went. Creation, beginning, pregnancy. Ideas are hatching all around. New life is springing forth. The bird, it's funny I said bird, the birth card can represent the season of spring, or perhaps something new beginning, something new being birthed into your life. The idea or project may still be in the incubation period, just beneath the surface, ready to burst forth into the world at any moment, or it may be ready to launch at the time the card is drawn. In some cases, the new beginning may be happening unbeknownst to the seeker, perhaps behind the scenes. If so, know that something new will be making an appearance in your life very soon when this card emerges. Yeah. All right, let's get some more insight there. Well, we're dead in summer in the northern hemisphere, and we're dead in winter in the southern hemisphere. So it's not going to be this. Well, it might be something from spring, but it probably is not the season of spring. But it could be something that started in spring, and maybe now you're starting to really see the. Could it, because your birthday is just prior to spring in the northern hemisphere. Could have even been birth. You know, could have been your birthday manifestation. You might be starting to see the seeds blooming and things starting to flourish from, you know, your birthday time when you set your intentions during that time frame. Okay, let's get 3 cards for Pisces. Oops, I picked up 2. We got the Page of Pentacles, the 8 of Cups. That was there for another person crowning the reading. And the Ace of Cups. Wow. Well, some of you are really falling in love when you have the Ace of Cups here. Some of you, there could be a baby. Could be a child. If there's a baby, it might even be coming in Earth sign time. It could be born in Virgo time, which would be August, September. It could be being born in Taurus time, which would be April or May. Or it could be born in Virgo time, which would be late August or September. But usually the Page of Pentacles is something that you're going to get money for. So some kind of, for some of you, it's some big creative project, and maybe you're going to start to see dividends or money coming in, or getting paid, you know, something along those, you know, you see the money start rolling in, they're saying. Now this could have also been that Capricorn full moon, because we got the full moon on this card. That was a little earlier in the month, but it could have been you've heard the news back here on the 10th, around that Capricorn full moon. And, you know, Ace of Cups, you're ready to, this is the opening the door to move forward with whatever you've been wanting to give birth to. Ace of Cups is also a card of birth, you know. So creative endeavors, financial projects, love affairs perhaps, you know, maybe an earth sign. Maybe you're falling in love with this new baby that's coming in, if it's a person that's getting, maybe you're following, you know, this creative project is, I feel like for a lot of you, this is some creative project. And this earth, this reminds me of the incubator. So it could be an incubator, yeah, like a traditional, like a baby, a preemie baby in an incubator. But it could also be an incubator where they're like a think tank, that kind of a thing. You know, where people are collaborating and coming up with ideas, and then it's turning into this beautiful, you know, it's really blooming forth. Things are really blooming forth for you right now, Pisces. So that looks wonderful. All right, everybody, well, you have to let me know what you guys think about this mid-month reading. You know, I think I'm going to try it for a while and steer the channel more towards strictly tarot and take the purely astrology readings out of the mix for now. If you do like the purely astrology, new and full moon, psychic astrology readings, they're over on Patreon and they are free, so you don't have to pay for it. If you want to contribute over there, it'd be lovely, but it's not required, okay? All right, well, everybody have a great month, and I'll be back again with maybe another money and career reading. We're going to throw some more tarot readings out during the month other than just the one new moon. And over on Patreon, too, for the paid subscriptions, I do have a weekly tarot and astrology, too. So anyways, thanks for tuning in. Have a great month, and we'll be back again soon. Bye.